Exactly. All right, Aquilegia species is what we'll teach. Really and truly, the one that we're looking at here is, I believe it's Texas Gold, which is Aquilegia chrysantha, I think variety Hinckleyii or Hinckleyana. It's Hinckley's Columbine, and then within Hinckley's Columbine there are a number of different cultivars. Again, this one I think is Texas Gold, and the Hinckley's Columbine are more hardy than the typical hybrid Columbine that we see. Okay, and that's the one. If you go to Lowe's right now, you're going to find like the hybrid Columbine, and they're sort of weak in this area. They're not really very vigorous during the summer. They'll do fine for you during the spring when it's nice and cool out, but once it gets hot, they're going to go down. These will stay out for longer. Sometimes now the Aquilegia will go down during the summertime and then come back in the fall and do a little bit more blooming before it goes dormant for the winter. Okay, but these have been coming up for the last probably 4 or 5 weeks. All right. You can see obviously you've got a number of divisions here. This is one leaf, I believe. Okay. So you got sort of trifoliate leaves with divisions that are lobings on the leaflets that are so large it almost looks more divided than that. Okay. Very sort of soft foliage, not because of pubescence or anything, but just because of the texture of the foliage. And then obviously you see the pedicels here that reach up maybe somewhere between 6 inches and a foot above the actual plant. And then this flower is unique, one that you don't see. Now, the spurs, these are what we consider spurs. They're not necessarily unique, because we'll see a number of plants today that also have these spurs, and in other lists. But the way that the spurs are so profuse and they're so large and whatnot, that really stands out. Okay. Typically, you got 5 petals, and because of the 5 petals, you get 5 spurs. All right. This one, I'm not exactly sure what's going on with it. It's got 7, but typically you see 5. Okay. On Hinckley's Columbine, you'll see somewhere between a creamy yellow and a nice bright gold color. But on the other hybrid Columbines, we see a number of different colors. We see purples, whites, of course the yellows, and then we see combinations of those colors as well. And that's why people would grow the hybrids, for more color range, but it's really just not worth it here so much unless you just want them for that one particular season. Again, sometimes these don't make it back because of really hot summers, but they will reseed. Okay, and you can kind of see some of these over here are probably from seed. And so eventually you get large areas of Columbine. Now because, and I have seen them come back as like perennials, but they're not really reliable to do that. Okay, so because they reseed, you're not sure exactly that they're going to be in a really tight mass, but you still get a lot of plants, and it's kind of fun to see them come back up.
And so you said they've got a